The State versus Edward Thomas James. Justice served or cruel and unusual? Did the execution of Edward Thomas James bring closure, or did it simply perpetuate a cycle of violence? We delve into the complex case, examining the crimes, the legal battles, and the victims left behind. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Edward Thomas James was executed by lethal injection at Florida State Prison in Raiford. The execution took place just after 8 p.m. ET on Thursday, marking the end of a decades-long legal saga. The execution was delayed by roughly 2 hours, though no immediate explanation was provided. This delay adds another layer of intrigue to an already disturbing case. This was the second execution in the U.S. that day, highlighting a grim reality. It was also the fourth execution in the U.S. that week, a stark reminder of the state's power. James was the second inmate executed in Florida this year, and the 10th in the entire United States. These numbers force us to confront the ongoing debate surrounding capital punishment. James was convicted of the brutal 1993 murders of Elizabeth Betty Dick and Tony Neuner. The crimes occurred in Castleberry, a quiet community near Orlando, shattering its peace. James had been renting a room in Dick's home, a betrayal of trust that makes the crime even more appalling. He was under the influence of drugs, including crack cocaine and possibly LSD at the time. He strangled and raped 8-year-old Tony Neuner, a horrific act of violence against a defenseless child. He then bludgeoned, attempted to rape, and stabbed 58-year-old Betty Dick. After committing these heinous acts, James fled the state with Dick's belongings, attempting to evade justice. He was eventually captured in California, where he confessed to the crimes. James's attorneys argued that he suffered significant cognitive decline, raising serious questions about his fitness for execution. They claimed he exhibited memory impairment and indicators of early-onset dementia. They argued that his execution would violate constitutional rights against cruel and unusual punishment. The defense team emphasized that James pleaded guilty despite a lack of memory of the crimes. His lawyers pointed to a history of substance abuse and mental illness, suggesting these factors contributed to his actions. They argued that his mental state should have been considered a mitigating circumstance. Despite these arguments, all courts rejected the appeals, paving the way for his execution. This raises questions about the legal system's handling of defendants with potential cognitive impairments. Elizabeth Betty Dick was 58 years old when her life was tragically cut short. She took James in out of kindness, offering him a place to stay in her home. She was described as a loving grandmother, a woman whose life revolved around her family. Her murder left a void that can never be filled. Her act of compassion was met with unspeakable violence, a stark reminder of the dangers that can lurk in unexpected places. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the vulnerability of those who offer help. Tony Neuner was only 8 years old when she became a victim of James's brutality. She was described as an outgoing girl, full of life and potential. She was inseparable from her older sister Wendy, their bond now forever broken by this senseless act. Her death robbed the world of a bright young spirit. The image of an innocent child being subjected to such violence is deeply disturbing and unforgettable. Tony's memory serves as a powerful reminder of the devastating consequences of crime. The families of Betty Dick and Tony Neuner have expressed profound anger and grief over the years. They struggled to understand James's motives, searching for answers that may never come. Other grandchildren were told that Grandma and Tony are in heaven, a heartbreaking attempt to shield them from the harsh reality. The trauma of this event will likely affect generations to come. The family's pain is a constant reminder of the human cost of crime, a cost that extends far beyond the immediate victims. Their stories deserve to be heard and remembered. The execution of Edward Thomas James is not an isolated event. Michael Tanzi is scheduled to be executed in Florida on April 8th. Mikal Mahdi is scheduled to be executed in South Carolina on April 11th. Moises Sandoval Mendoza is scheduled to be executed in Texas on April 23rd. James Osgood is scheduled to be executed in Alabama on April 24th. These upcoming executions highlight the ongoing use of capital punishment in the United States. All of the upcoming executions are scheduled to be carried out by lethal injection, except for Mikal Mahdi. Mahdi has the choice between lethal injection, firing squad, or electric chair. The availability of different methods of execution raises ethical questions about the most humane way to carry out capital punishment. Each method has its own set of controversies and potential for suffering. The debate over execution methods reflects a deeper unease about the morality of state-sanctioned killing. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable realities of the death penalty. 8 more executions are currently scheduled for the rest of the year, and more are likely to be added. This indicates that the use of capital punishment remains a significant part of the American justice system. The continued scheduling of executions raises questions about the effectiveness and fairness of the death penalty. It also prompts us to consider alternative approaches to justice and rehabilitation. The future of capital punishment in the United States remains uncertain, but the ongoing debate is crucial for shaping a more just and equitable society. We must continue to examine the ethical, legal, and social implications of this practice. The execution of Edward Thomas James is a stark reminder of the complexities and controversies surrounding capital punishment. It forces us to confront difficult questions about justice, forgiveness, and the role of the state in taking a human life. We must remember the victims, Elizabeth Betty Dick and Tony Neuner, and honor their memory by working towards a safer and more compassionate society. Their stories should inspire us to seek justice and prevent future tragedies. Now, we urge you to take action. Research the death penalty in your state, contact your elected officials, and advocate for policies that promote justice and rehabilitation. Share this video to raise awareness and spark meaningful conversations about this critical issue. Let's work together to create a world where such tragedies are less likely to occur.